We've seen the bromance between Caleb Williams and Pete Crow-Armstrong. They've been everywhere. They've been at the Bulls game. I ask you, where does Pete Crow-Armstrong rank among the young kings of Chicago sports right now? Where would you put PCA? Let's put the names. I don't know that the Bulls have anybody right now that actually factors into this. I don't know if the White Sox have anybody that factors into this. But where is Pete Crow-Armstrong rank next to Caleb Williams, Connor Bedard? I think those are the three names. You might want to say Colson Montgomery. I don't know.
Modest Buzelis for the
Modest
Chicago
Buzelis,
Bulls, I think.
I don't think Modest is in the same category as these guys yet.
They're not. But what's fun about this conversation is just simply acknowledging for a second that Chicago sports possibly could be entering into a phase where these guys could be at the top of their games early on in their 20s. I hear you. Colson Montgomery had a great first or half rookie season, set some home run records. Let's see if he can do it again. Modest Buzelis still growing in his game, needs to mature in a lot of different areas in terms of ball handle, finishing at the rim, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the three right now that I think had the best shot, as you said, Connor Bedard, Caleb Williams, and Pete Crow-Armstrong. It's fair. It's always going to be a Bears town. So it's hard not to think Caleb Williams, after what the Chicago Bears have done with Ben Johnson this year, should be at the top of the list. But I will tell you, I think as it stands right now, I think Pete Crow-Armstrong has a very compelling case that he could possibly be the highest rising future star in Chicago sports right now. I want these guys to be all in tuxedos, looking like MJ, Andre, and Walter.
Yeah.
Bring it back to the 80s. And just these guys could maybe be ushering in some fantastic competitive Chicago sports for the next 5 or 6 years. Pete Crow-Armstrong, World Baseball Classic, starter in the All-Star game, 30 for 30, Gold Glover.
Yep.
So he's got the accolades, Luke, but the question is he on top of that mountain right now in Chicago sports?
The answer is yes, and it's going to make people mad.
Yes.
It's going to make some people mad, and I understand. I'm a fan of the Blackhawks. I'm a fan of the Bears. I'm a fan of the Cubs. But the reality is, even though his season was hot-cold, Pete Crow-Armstrong has already, at this moment, if we're saying right now, PCA has accomplished more than Caleb Williams, and he's accomplished more than Connor Bedard. Now, one thing is just winning. Okay, Caleb took this amazing jump this year with the new head coach. We love it. I think his coach even said in the press conference today, end of season press conference, we have a quarterback who's going to be special for a lot of years. We know it now. Okay, great. I'm all for that too. But Caleb has gone to the playoffs. He won a playoff game, and he moved on. Okay, well, PCA has gone to a playoff series, won it, and moved on. But Caleb has not been an all-star starter, right? Like, I don't care about the Pro Bowl. I'm just saying, has he been that quality after half of his season? That doesn't exist in football, but you know what I'm saying. The answer is no. PCA was in a league MVP conversation for half of a season. Bedard hasn't been in that conversation. Caleb is not yet in that conversation. I hope they both are for many years to come.
Absolutely.
I hope all three are in that conversation. Heck, I hope the Sox have somebody in that conversation and the Bulls. But right now, of those three great young stars, we have all this great hope. Only PCA has ever been mentioned as a possible MVP in a season. Only guy. He's been an all-star starter. He's won in the playoffs, and he's been in an MVP conversation. He also put up a stat that exceeds anything the others have accomplished yet in their sport. Pete Crow-Armstrong has accomplished, as you said, the home runs and the stolen bases. That just doesn't happen, the number he hit. We were hoping Caleb was going to get to 4,000 yards passing, first Bears quarterback. And it's so close. We also asked him to cut down on the interceptions, increase the touchdown.
Yes.
Okay, that was great. Everything was great about Caleb's season. Loved Caleb's season. But nothing he did statistically led him to being one of the 5 best in the NFL or being in an MVP conversation or an historic part of really what should be considered super, super special to see. He was really good. And Bedard just hasn't done it yet.
Right, and that's what makes this conversation so exciting and fun and fascinating. And if you're doing it in the comments right now, do it respectfully, because over the next couple of years, Bedard, Caleb, and PCA, these spots can switch and change and evolve from season to season.
Half season to half season.
I think right now, Connor Bedard might have the most skill and might have the best opportunity to one day lead the NHL and get a points title. Right now, that's saying something. Would PCA ever lead the league in home runs? I don't know, or RBIs. I can't sit here and say that. Would Caleb ever lead the NFL in touchdowns? I don't know if I can say that right now. My one with you is, what do you also value, or would you take into account when we talk about PCA and Caleb? I just want to be devil's advocate for a second here. PCA in the playoffs struggled a little bit at the plate.
Oh, yeah.
And when it comes to Caleb and PCA, it's kind of Crow-Armstrong strikeouts versus Caleb Williams' completion percentage. And I understand that the numbers were better for PCA, but how do you kind of fit into the equation Caleb's innate ability to be Iceman,
yes,
to be clutch?
They both did that
and they did. How do you factor that in a little bit, where Crow-Armstrong maybe has a little bit more to prove offensively in October, where Caleb...
that's where I disagree.
Yeah, tell me.
They both actually at points struggled in the postseason. PCA definitely did.
Caleb's got 5 interceptions.
Caleb's got 5 picks in 2 games. And
Fair.
I know...
Fair.
Listen, I'm for it. I would argue this with anybody from another town. At least 2 of those picks are not on Caleb.
Correct.
He's throwing them on 4th down because he has no choice but to put it up. And so what if it's picked? They actually gained yards by him throwing the pick. I don't know why they decided to pick it off, but that's because guys were looking for a little, fill the pockets. Who is the Hall of Famer out of the 3? If you have to put your money on it. Now that, I can't say PCA over Caleb, and I can't say that over Bedard. I'm saying right now, who's accomplished the most? It's still PCA, but it's close because in Caleb's defense, quarterback is something we have never seen here, basically, in Chicago. Right. It's the hardest thing for you to find is that elite, someday super special quarterback in Chicago. We've waited our whole lives for it. I've waited 53 years. Now, I've seen great outfield play. But right now, PCA has accomplished in a half a season more still than the other 2 for me.
And that's what's going to be fun over the next 2 or 3 years of comparing and contrasting the 3. Like, now it's Crow-Armstrong's turn this summer to become the player that we all believe that he can become over the course of a full season. Be that superstar, start in an all-star game again,
yes,
maybe go 30 for 30 again. And then this Cubs team is equipped to make some noise and be dangerous in October. Can he lead them a little bit deeper into the playoffs, right? I tell you, if the Chicago Cubs won the pennant, guess who flies up the top of the ranks, sure, right? And at the end of that year, Caleb will then start his year, and can the Bears go a little bit farther? The good news is the Chicago sports nation, whether it's Blackhawks, whether it's Bulls, whether it's Cubs, and even, yes, White Sox, there's a lot to look forward to right now in terms of young talent and young stars, and Crow-Armstrong, in my opinion, is right there at the tippy top, along with, yes, his best friend, Caleb Williams.
Let me double down on this bromance and Connor Bedard, the trio. Not only could all 3 of them be outstanding players moving forward, and I don't know that PCA is going to end up being the best of the 3. I don't at all. I don't even know if I'd bet on it. But I love the way all 3 go about their business. They are workers. They have you can tell all 3 have talent. Incredible talent, but all 3 have a burning desire to be great. And that's why Chicago sports is set up to be special, and I'm all for it. Bring it on. I want all 3 to be Hall of Famers.